Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So, we're here to do the episode that comes out Tuesday night, which is the mini series we've been running. This will be the final episode of the series. It's called One Question. And so normally what we do here is Ben gives me a question and I answer it. That's pretty much all we're doing. So he's given me a question today. It's kind of a two-parter. So the first question is, what were the best albums vocally for these 5 artists? And the second question was, what are the best instrumental albums? What period of time was the best instrumental albums or the best instrumentals for this particular artist? So I'm going to do the vocalists first. I've got 5. I did make one change. Ben had given me Sting, who I'm not really all that familiar with, so he then changed that one out for Dennis DeYoung, which I was perfectly fine to do, but then upon the news of the passing of Ozzy Osbourne, I decided to not do Dennis DeYoung, but include Ozzy Osbourne on this list. I think most people would understand that, and I'm going to stick with it. So we're going to start with the first artist on the list, which is Peter Gabriel. What is the best vocal parts for Peter Gabriel? I could have went back to Genesis. He does have a number of decent sounding songs there, but I think the quality of the music back then, although good, wasn't as clear as it is now. And I think for me, the two ones I come to, and just before we get started, I'm not going to pick my favorite albums. That'd be too easy. So I've picked the albums I think the vocal parts are the best from this band, from this guy. So for Peter Gabriel, I think that takes place on this album, Peter Gabriel's Security, released in 1982, I believe. Yeah, 1982. Lots of really good stuff on here. This is also kind of the beginning of that MTV part where you get to see more of them, and he really did put together a fantastic group of songs on this album. San Jacinto, absolutely extraordinary song. Next up, and this album, which came out 4 years later, I believe, on David Geffen's company, record label, and Warner Brothers. This is Peter Gabriel's So album. So this would be his 5th studio album. Lots of really good vocal parts here. He's got Kate Bush on here too, so he seems to have stepped up a notch for that. The song they did together is Don't Give Up. Really good, well done track. But some of his other stuff, Red Rain, just absolutely beautiful sounding voice on that. And Mercy Street, I really like that a lot too. And then he's got some hits on here like Sledgehammer, really, and In Your Eyes. Both of these are great songs, great vocals, and showing off his range of music. So for me, those are the 2 Gabriel albums where I think he's at his best vocally. Next up is Neil Young. Now, Neil Young is never going to win a best vocalist category at any time in his career, I don't think, anyways. I like his voice. It's kind of a bit raspy. Some people like to call it a comparison to Bob Dylan. I don't like Dylan at all, but this guy I like. And I think he's at his best on Harvest, which coincidentally is his best album. But, songs like Old Man, and Needle and the Damage Done. He's so emotionally charged on these songs, and his voice sounds so gripping. And that's what I think when I think of Neil Young. I don't think about perfect sounding voice or anything, but his emotional tangent that he goes off on this is just fantastic. And you could go down the list, even the song Man Needs a Maid, which is among my favorite songs by him. Another really good track for that particular sound. And, he's got all of his hits on here, too, like Harvest and Heart of Gold. Really good. So this is a fantastic album showing a lot of different vocal stuff on it for Neil Young. Next up, we've got the late Ronnie James Dio, and it makes perfect sense that he would be on here too because of the passing of Ozzy. Now both Sabbath's original vocalists are gone. I think Ozzy was at his best with other bands, not so much on his solo career, although he had some really good solo stuff too, but I think nobody could doubt that he's at his best on Stargazer. Absolutely a fantastic tune. It gives me shivers sometimes when I hear how great his vocal parts are on this. The whole album is good, but that song in particular. And the other one I like is the first one I ever heard him on, which was this one, Heaven and Hell. Children of the Sea, absolutely fantastic tune. The hard stuff here is really well done as well, but that particular song just really captures me. And so I wanted to say that that's, to me, where Ronnie James was at his best, was on those two albums. Next up is, of course, finally, for the vocalist, Ozzy. And I picked 3 for Ozzy. 1 from Sabbath. His vocal sound on this album, and this is not one of my favorite Sabbath song albums. From the original 8 albums, this might be the one that I, next to Technical Ecstasy, those might be the 2 I like the least. This one I like quite a bit more than Technical Ecstasy, but his voice is so smooth. It's just absolutely fantastic on this album. Sounds like Ozzy, but seems to have a lot more going on than it does on the other albums. It may be the production. I'm not sure what it is, but I think this is his best Sabbath soundings album. Next up, I picked his first 2 solo albums. Really strong, very Ozzy sounding. The songs are memorable. The slow stuff is really catchy. His screaming at times on some of these tracks and his signature sounding voice are fantastic on both of these albums. So to me, that's where he peaked, kind of with Sabotage, and then later with his own career with both Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. So those are my vocalists. I'm just going to move them over. Oh, knock the mic over. Not used to having it there yet. So next up, we're going to do the instrumentals. So he's given me 5 bands and asked me to pick out where I think in their discography and their musical career they were at their best instrumentally. So the first band we're going to go with, and do it in the order he gave it to me, is Nektar. So a lot of people are huge fans of Recycled and Return to the Future. I like both albums. I think they're both great albums. But I think when it comes to instrumentation, the first 2 albums are better all around. This one especially, really kind of heavy album, Tab in the Ocean. I think the instrumentation on this is fantastic. And even more so maybe on the first album, which this is kind of some leftovers here from this one. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. And these are just, again, some really great instrumentation on this album, especially with the keyboards and the guitar. Tone is great. For a debut album, I think it's pretty clear production-wise. At least to me it is. So those are my 2 picks for Nektar. Is their first album, Journey to the Center of the Eye, and then Tab in the Ocean, their second album. So that's, I think, where they peaked instrumentally. Everything else after that is good, but I don't think it's as good. Okay, so the next band up is Eloy. This is another band that I got, that first load of records that I bought, that I ordered through the mail. Tab in the Ocean was one of the albums, and there was a couple of albums by Eloy in there as well. I think there was one album by Eloy in there. But I like these 2 a lot for instrumentation. This one, very heavy even for Eloy, very Pink Floyd sounding. Space rock is at its best on this album. The instrumentation is great. The drummer is fantastic. And even more so on this album here, their live album. This may be their best collection of instrumentation on any album instrumentally. I just think this is just like Everything else is kind of like this on a nice smooth general up, and then you get to this and it's way up in the air, like shoots right up. Everything on here is great. The drumming's fantastic. The keyboards are great too. Yeah, just a great album, Eloy Live. So those are the two there. Next up is the band Cheap Trick. For me, the instrumentally, they are at their peak, coincidentally, on their best album, I think. Cheap Trick's Dream Police. Now, people would say Budokan is probably a bigger album, and they might be right. I'm not arguing with that. This isn't my favorite Cheap Trick album either. Heaven Tonight is probably my favorite, but I think they kind of peaked out instrumentally here. There's a lot of really good guitar stuff on this. Drumming is really good too, and even the bass is heavy at times. Vocals are great as well, even though we're not really talking about that with this. But yeah, Dream Police by Cheap Trick. Next up, from BOC, there's two albums, and they come back to back too. Actually, I don't think this is back to back. No, there's a few years in between, but this one, some fantastic instrumentation here. The songs are well crafted. The vocals are great, multi-vocals. He's got 5 guys singing on this album. But I think the instrumentation is really good here. Stands out. The album's well produced as well. I think it's even better on this album. Spectres. There's a lot of really great instrumentation on it, especially the guitars. Just absolutely killer on this album. Yeah, and the vocals are good too, although we're not really talking about the vocals with this album, but it's really good. So those two are the albums I think Blue Oyster Cult's at its best instrumentally. Now, some people may say they're better with their best album, which for a lot of people is True Confessions. True Confessions? Oh, sorry, Agents of Fortune. There's a song on it called Agents of Fortune, but to me that really only has Don't Fear the Reaper. It's not, to me, not as good an album. The instrumentation isn't as good on that album. You might make an argument for Fire of Unknown Origin. You could make an argument for that album, but I think these are the two best ones. And last but not least on the list, Judas Priest. Where were they at their best? Well, Judas Priest has so many great albums. The drumming might be at its best now, but overall, I think when you think about vocals and their instrumentation and the song choice, you got to go with the one that has all their best, most well-known songs, and that's Made in Japan. This is a fantastic album. Like, there's just so many good tracks on here. Sinner, Exciter, Green Menelishi, Diamonds and Rust. Like, this is just a fantastic album of great guitar playing. Fantastic. I can't remember who the drummer is on this one though. I was thinking how good he was, but I want to say it's can't even think of his name now. I'm drawing a blank here. See if I can find it here. Yeah, Les Binks. That's who I was thinking of too. So I didn't know if he was on this or not, but the drumming is great on here. He may be their best drummer of all time. I'm not sure. The new guy, the guy that they've been using since Painkiller, is really good too. He's more of a speed drummer though. Les Binks, really good. So to me, this is their best instrumental. And even though it's not an instrumental, it's a live album, but it's still, I think, they're at their peak here. Instrumentally with Made in Japan. Or sorry, I said Made in Japan. I was thinking of Deep Purple, but we don't have Deep Purple in this thing. I meant Unleashed in the East. I don't know why I got that stuck in my head. So forgive me for that faux pas there. It wasn't intentional. I had Deep Purple in my brain. But we're not doing Deep Purple, so we're not going to be talking about that. But anyways, that's, to me, when the bands were at their peak instrumentally, those are the albums and choices. Same with the Vocalists. Those are my choices for their best. I mean, you may have completely, it's a very subjective topic, one of the most subjective I've done. So if you think that they peaked in other areas, please put that in the comments section. I'll give it a listen to and see if maybe you can change my mind. But anyways, I hope you like this video. Please hit the like and subscribe. Put any of your comments about any of the bands or any of the choices I've made. You can put those in the comment section below. And one more shout out to Ozzy Osbourne. Thanks, Ozzy, for all the great music that you've left as a legacy. Rest in peace, brother. Take care, everybody, and we will see you next week. Actually, we might not see you on the show next week. I may give it a week or so off. I'm going away in a week or so, so I may just decide to wait until we come back. Anyways, I hope to see you all soon. Take care. Have yourself a good evening from Prog Monster. Goodbye.